You're listening to the Silver Lined ReLaunch, and I'm your host, Hillary DeCesar, award-winning entrepreneur and transitional coach. Each week, I'll invite you to tune into inspirational stories, revealing how you too can turn ordinary experiences into the extraordinary. Feeling stuck? I'll share step-by-step strategies to fuel your ability to experience a life where silver linings are both abundant and possible. Today, again, is one of my absolute favorite shows, and it is the ReLaunch Chick Chat. And today I have Emily Takimori. And the reason that this is so incredible is that we are sitting here, for those that are going to see this on video, we are sitting here at the beautiful Meadowood. And how we got here is a story within itself. We're not going to go there right now because we have a lot to discuss with Emily. So Emily, we're doing it, girl.
I'm here.
All right. And of course, because
make it happen.
These are always,
I'm
not going to pop your eye out. Ready?
Yay.
Maybe that should have been the end, but you and I both know.
We need to start with champagne.
We need a little champagne to get this party going.
Thank you.
Emily. Oh. You know, we are part of a club that there are many in this club, but we are part of what are we part of?
The Second Wives Club. The best club to be a part of, really.
The Second Wives Club. So, you know, a toast to you, a toast. Thank you. And our husbands went to college together.
Yeah. Same fraternity. They've got this awesome group of guys. They also keep in touch, which is crazy. Like, all the time they keep in touch.
Crazy. And even crazier is that this group somehow manages to get together every year. And the best part of this group are the wives.
I love it.
Are the wives. And so when I think about this concept of, you know, second wives and, you know, I mean, there's a lot built into this. Mm-hmm. And we talked last night about silver linings around sometimes we don't realize when we're going through the mucky muck. All of a sudden, you come out with a really amazing story. And you come out with new friends and you come out with, and then you can really look behind and say, oh my gosh, this is truly the silver lining. So as I'm sitting here, I'm looking at you and I'm like, yeah, this right here is the silver lining
for the Second Wives Club.
It really is. But now I want to ask you, and the reason that I had to do a chick chat with you is because so much has changed in the last 4+ months with you. Yeah. And so can you tell me a little bit about your story, what's going on, how you got here,
oh my God.
Yeah, tired. So then I can have a drink of my champagne.
Yeah, let me just take a big sip before we get into this because I mean, the vid. Ooh. The damn vid.
Yeah, the damn vid.
Changed everyone's lives, right? So as you know, I'm a working mom of 2 wonderful kids.
And do we love the background is actually the housekeeper, which we are loving housekeepers right now. We're like, you can't leave, you must stay.
That's one of the silver linings. I'm so appreciative for every little thing.
Oh she's back there. She's like making bed. I'm like,
thank you.
This is just so huge.
But 2 young kids, a 4-year-old boy, Hero, as you know, he's got a lot of energy. Love him. My 8-year-old girl, Ren. Were in school, preschool, 2nd grade. Now she's going into 3rd grade. Working mom, working dad. Tensho's got a big job in the architecture world. I've got a big job at Rotten Tomatoes. We keep our lives extremely busy. We've set up our lives to work out just kind of a perfect arrangement of structure and help around us to make it all happen, right? We have childcare. We have a lot of, fortunately, kind of bells and whistles to kind of make this perfect little dance happen. And then
the perfect little dance, the music went off.
The music goes off. And it all just falls apart, right, with COVID. So, I mean, the first month or two, we didn't let anyone in our home. There was no housekeeper. There was no nanny. There was no, like, nobody, no friends. We were so very isolated, I think, as most people were. I think at the beginning, everyone just cut themselves off. And we had to do it all. And that's hard, right? Having to do it all.
With you especially.
Yeah.
So a lot of the other gals that I'm friends with, our kids are older.
Yeah.
So there is that older kid problem where you've got to deal with, you know, they go off to college, they come back. Last thing they really wanted to do was come back to the home front. Now they're home, but you have the opposite. And I got to tell you, the social media, you literally could be the funniest person I know. And
I mean,
some of
you have to lighten it up a little bit.
Oh, but
I
gosh,
mean,
some of what you were sharing on your social media, I mean, E and I would look at those videos and we were dying, honestly.
Yeah.
And so I know that you both have awesome jobs. All of a sudden you come into this new world of, hey, I got to take care of absolutely everything. I still have to be a good mom. I still have to be a good wife. I still have to be a good employee. And I have to do it all in the confines of my home where I can't leave. I'm trying to make sure that everything is in place. How did you do it? I mean, how did you manage all of this?
You know, looking back, it's kind of easier to like say, oh, well, how would I have done it differently? How did I do it? Like in the time, you just do it. You just go into like full gear. It's minute by minute, hour by hour. You're just rolling with it. And in some ways, you kind of learn like, I just got to let go. Like I can't control all of this. I'm just going to go minute by minute and take it as it comes. And, for me, as you mentioned with all my funny Instagram stories, I deal with a lot of things in life through humor. And kind of finding these little moments of like, oh, that's fucking hysterical. But yet at the same time, this fucking sucks. Like, but you have to have some moments where you have to laugh. You have to see the funny in it because it is so ridiculous that, and no joke, I'm on a conference call with all these executives in my company and I'm like, pause, hold on a second. My son comes in with like a poo diaper, like, Mommy, I pooed, change my diaper. I'm like, are you effing kidding me right now? I'm in the middle of this meeting and I now have to run out and change a shitty diaper.
You have to be a mom.
So it's just like the moments are just so crazy, but you have to find humor in it. And that's, I think, what got me through a lot of this is just finding the humor of like, I mean, I had a whole story of like the professional up top and like the crazy in the bottom. I mean, half these meetings, I'm like putting on the nice shirt and the makeup and then, I don't know what I was wearing in the bottom, pajamas, who knows? But like, you just are, it's ridiculous. It is such a ridiculous time.
It is. And I remember at one of your posts, you changed into multiple outfits.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Tell us about that one.
Well, is this the one with the onesie? Oh my God. So I have this onesie pre-COVID. I loved this onesie. It's like an adult onesie. So comfy, like a full piece kind of pajama set that you zip up with a hood. And it was like, I'm like, I live in the onesie, but underneath I had all these different like fun outfits, like evening wear, unzip, and you're ready for evening. Swimwear, like you just keep unzipping the onesie that you're living in all day long.
It's like the stackable dolls,
the nesting dolls.
Yes, the nesting dolls. You had all these different outfits, and it was like COVID outfits, and oh my God.
Yeah, or like COVID nails. So that's another thing is like I realized during the time, like I had so many little my outlets of like kind of doing my, beauty routines and getting my nails done and going to the spa and all that stuff. And that goes away, right? But that has always become my outlet just to kind of get away and relax. So like my nails, oh my God, the nails were looking like crap. And trying to get those gels off that I got right before we all shut down.
Yes! And then you had to peel them off, did you? And half your
Peeling
nail?
them, I'm soaking them for hours in that crap.
And then your nails come off.
The
and
nails,
your nails like thin, and it took 2 months before your nails were.
They had to grow out of it. Yeah. Like my nails right now probably are like, I love you so much. Thank you for letting me breathe. But I mean, there were just so many moments of ridiculous.
True. It is so true. All those things that we took for granted. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's like literally, I wish you guys could all see this. Like, I mean, this is the greatest thing going. She's, making the bed, I'm like, oh, these things that we just took for granted.
Yeah.
The nails. And yeah, I did the same thing right before I had those dips. And I mean, it was impossible. I'm like, I literally saw my nail bed tear off.
And what was I thinking? I know Joke knew we were shutting down, right? They did one of those, like, you knew it was going to happen the next day. And I was like, I'm going to go out and get gels. Like, what was I thinking? I guess I thought it would be like a week or two.
And gels last for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever thought that this thing would be going on as long as it's going on. But I want to go back to you trying to work. And how did you and Tensho figure out, hey, you're on kid duty right now, I'm on a call, versus, my stuff's more important than your stuff. And I've got a lot of people throwing that out. Like, whose job's more important?
That's exactly it. You know, you kind of think you're the only one going through it, but more and more I'm hearing that every couple, working parents, are going through it. In the beginning, it was triage. It was like a free-for-all. It was such a like stream of consciousness feel where it's like, oh shit, I got a call. Wait, Tendra, do you have a call? No, you don't have a call. You have a call in like 2 minutes. Okay, quickly, run over there, deal with Ren's homework. Oh wait, Hero's in like the M&Ms. Get him out of the M&Ms. Hold on a second, get on a call. I mean, it was just so like all over the place, and there really was no plan. Every day we'd be like, okay, let's wake up early and like write out our meetings and figure out what meeting overlaps with your meeting and what the kids have going on, and it just all fell to shit most days. Like, you had such good intentions. Every plan. And I'm a planner. I mean, and so is Tensho. I'm a project manager. I'm like, the second like things close down, I was like, oh, I've got a little spreadsheet. It's color coded, and we're gonna have like English in the morning and math in the afternoon, and we're gonna have recess. And guess what? I'm gonna do tons of projects. I'm gonna be baking with the kids. I'm gonna have family dinners. We're all gonna sit together and have family dinners. None of it happened the way I thought. So how did we get through it? I think in the beginning, it was you just take every minute by minute, triage. You need to have such good communication with your partner. And obviously there's some days where that communication just kind of would break down because you're so frustrated and
the stress.
The stress. But, you know, as with any sort of change, you get into a groove. You start kind of seeing the areas that are not working, that are working, and you slowly through time, because we had a lot of time and we still have a lot of time to try to figure out, okay, how do we maneuver this in a way that can work for us? And it's still not perfect, but we do have more of a rhythm. And we figured out, like, Tensho's really good at managing Ren's schoolwork and the scheduling around her schoolwork and, you know, getting her on track with that. I'm not so much. She wanted to know what a compound word was, and I had to Google that. So
I don't blame you. I'd have to do that too.
Yeah. I'm the silly one that's going to do fun activities with the kids, get dressed up, run around, be silly, do some arts and crafts stuff. I'm that person. So we found our strengths in this and have kind of leaned into those strengths. And I think now we have a better groove because we just know, okay, that area you're going to take, this area I'm going to take.
Which is great. So you've been able to delegate, but you've had to redesign. One of the steps in the relaunch process, the relaunch effect, is redesigning.
Yeah.
And right now you're in full mode of redesign.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so some might be actually thinking, how and why are we here during this massive,
Why
COVID,
not?
Sheltering in place? Why are we here? Well, we initially weren't supposed to be here, but through some very unfortunate situations, we had rented a house and we couldn't stay there anymore, and we had to just leave rather quickly. So we ended up at a hotel, which
one of the best hotels.
And I got to say, Silver Lining, my gosh, hey, this is all fabulous, but this was so not planned. I mean, we were planning to barbecue tonight instead. I mean, things have totally shifted.
Yeah.
But what I think is so great is last night we were out they have croquet here, everyone. I mean, seriously.
I call it croqueta.
Yeah, croqueta.
Because it's
But think about everyone, you're supposed to be wearing white. Well, of course, we have no white. So we're out there. It's getting darker and darker. We're hitting the ball. We're all playing. I don't think, any of us have played more than once in our life. It was so much fun. And I think that, the humor side. One thing that I have to say about our friendship and the friendship with the guys is it's sometimes really hard to find both the female and the male of a partnership that you love, that you love both so much, right? And I think that the four of us,
We just gel so well.
we do, I mean, there's a really great friendship.
That's the beauty of the Second Wives Club, because those guys were shopping us around, testing us out with their friends to make sure we fit in well. So like they did a
Shopping
little
us around.
a little trial run before they committed. So, but it's true. Like you and I get along extremely well.
Oh,
we
and
have
we
always
travel
so
well.
much fun
And
when
we
we
travel. We do. We go, well, we did. This has been a while.
Yeah.
But
But that whole group does. All of
Oh,
the
it's so great.
husbands and wives, we all just, it's such a special group.
It really is. Well, I wanted to make sure you got to put the hat on. I mean, that hat is just, yeah. Okay. If you guys, for
have
those,
to understand.
yeah,
Oh
tell
my
us about
God.
this.
I mean, this is one of my favorite hats. I mean,
No.
this just sums it up, right?
But remember, most people are listening to this right now. They can't see the hat. So what?
Oh, they're listening.
Yeah.
Okay.
What M's hat says is, in bright red, I pee in pools.
I pee in pools. And this honestly just sums up my life and kind of how I treat things. Like when times get tough and serious, for better or for worse, I'm just like, you got to wear a hat like this. You just have to kind of laugh and just make fun of yourself. Now, the downside of this hat, right? I put it on, I do a little chuckle to myself because I'm like, this is so funny. Everyone's going to think this is funny. And then I forget I'm wearing the hat. And I'm wearing it like all day, and I'm actually going to a pool at maybe.
Oh, you're in a pool wearing that thing.
Well, I hike with it. I go to pools with it.
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff. But like for instance, and this has happened, staying at a nice hotel, I forget I'm wearing the hat. I'm in the fancy schmancy hotel pool.
Well, remember, we weren't supposed to be in a fancy, schmancy
Schmancy.
anything.
True.
We were going to be
today's the
kicking
day.
back. Yeah.
And
so-
I get looks, and I'm like, and of course I'm like, oh, they're looking at me because they just think I'm kind of cute, and maybe I'm wearing a cute little bathing suit, like. And then I realize, oh, I've got the hat on.
So I have a funny story about my mom. We were in Virginia at the Homestead, I think it's called. Old school type of place. And this was, maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago. And she comes out in this, total LA velour, multicolored workout suit, like sweatsuit. And she is prancing around like she is a peacock, right? She's thinking she looks so great, going up and down the lobby. And there's a woman and a husband sitting next to me. And I hear the woman turn to her husband and say, "Ugh, look at that woman's outfit." And the same thing goes where,
She's thinking
she's owning it.
Yeah.
This is like her big moment, and everyone's staring at her where everyone's like, oh, for God's sake. Okay, so I do many times at the end of a podcast, I ask different questions. I'm not going to go through all of those because you actually answered the first one, which is Zoom call. Are you dressed belly button down, or, do you wear the whole outfit or not? You already said you're a, belly button up. But I also like, and we talked about this last night, beauty products.
Oh, yeah.
And I love to hear what people's favorite beauty products are. So we used one last night. Clearly I didn't use it today, but tell us what this is.
Okay. So I'm going to explain it and show it because for people who can't see it.
Oh, it's so cool, you guys.
First of all, it looks really scary. It is a round brush and a blow dryer in one. I don't know if you could see it here.
Here, I'll hold it up.
Okay.
So it's Revlon. It's a
Revlon.
Revlon, and it's like this super cool.
It's a round brush blow dryer. Dry Bar makes one as well, just as good. Revlon cheaper. That's the way I roll.
Yeah, we like that.
This thing is magical. I never knew how to do the whole, like, you have a round brush in one hand, the
I've
blow
never
dryer
been
in
able
the
to figure it
other.
out. Never,
it's
never,
like
never.
a dance between two hands. I have no clue how to do it. This has solved it for me, and it gives me full-on salon fresh hair.
Your hair looks so good last night.
And I mean, you guys kept talking about it. I'm
No,
like,
it
you-
looks so
you
good.
need to see
so
the magic
we came,
tool.
Yeah, so we came home
This is
and we
amazing.
played on my hair,
Yeah.
and it was so great.
It just smooths it out.
It
and-
would actually make me wash my hair more. I don't wash my hair because I like the way my hair gets flatter and flatter as it gets dirtier and
Right.
dirtier.
No, this is gonna change it.
Yeah, this is
It's
a game
gonna change
changer.
it.
Okay, so this is that product.
Yeah.
And then what else did you
Oh,
bring?
this other product I love. I never say the name right. Rodale. It's called Soft Focus Glow Drops. Now, for the
Illuminating.
working quarantined mom who like, I just do not have time for makeup.
Yep.
It just gives you that glow as if you have no stress in the world. You don't have those young kids nagging at you
Where
at
do you put
home.
this?
You've slept all night. I put it on my face, just all over my face. It has
All
a good texture.
over.
Yeah.
All over your
It gives you a
face.
dewy,
Yeah.
like
it feels really
just
good.
out of the cucumber
like
water spa.
Where can you
look.
get it?
I got it. I belong to Equinox, and they have like a
so
spot.
maybe-
They sell them there, but I bet you can get them online.
Okay. So this is RODIAL.
Rodial.
Soft Focus Glow Drops.
Yes.
Rodial?
Rodial.
Rodial.
I don't know.
Okay, very cool. Okay, so I do want to hear just kind of your if I had to say your best moment kid-wise, story-wise of just frickin' A, this is a disaster. And
mean, there's
you
so
and
many.
you rolling with it. I do have to say I love the pictures that Tencho showed last night of what Ren's, kind of alter ego. She's, with her hands up. And then,
we were in Joshua Tree, yeah.
and then what Heroes was, which was, he's naked from the,
Yes.
belly button down, thinking he might be peeing right there wherever he was.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many of those moments. First of all, my son has now learned to pee. He's 4 years old, like full on one of those, like you drop your pants like on a tree style, but he'll just do it off like the front porch. So like, I mean,
We're trying
the
to-
neighborhood is really impressed by us. So we've got a few of those. You might have seen that picture yesterday where then my son peed in a cup and put a little plastic toy fish in it with a straw and handed it to Tencho in the middle of a meeting of his to tell him that he made him pee-pee fish stew.
Oh my God. I mean, you can't make this stuff
it
up
just-
and never.
yeah.
But I have to say, now that you guys are spending more time with your kids,
Yeah.
I mean, this is quality time.
It is
that
quality
you will
time.
never be able to ever, I mean, this is, in the past, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, that's true. And from day one, and I think Ren, my daughter, would still say this, she has said very firmly from day one, I'm like, how are you doing? Are you okay? Like, not being with your friends and being at home? She's like, I'm so happy being at home. I never see you guys. And at first I'm like, oh, she's just trying to get more iPad time. But she is. She's firm on that. She's like, you guys, you leave early in the morning, you come home late at night. She's like, I never
game
spend.
changer
It
for
is a
kids.
game changer, especially at her age.
Yeah.
For my son, who's 4, I don't know if he really cares whether he sees us or not, but I've really learned a lot about his personality. I always would hear things through the teachers or other mothers picking up their kids, and they'd be like, oh, Hero is a funny one. Now I know he's a funny
love
one.
love
So
that.
I've really gotten to know my kids really well in this time.
So there's the silver lining.
There's a silver lining.
I love it. Well, listen, unfortunately, we have to wrap, but you and I are not wrapping.
No,
'cause
no.
We are gonna keep going. We are now gonna go and do a little wine tasting. And so we thought we better record this before the wine tasting and not after, although it might have been a better stories might have come out. Oh,
But wait.
that could have been the guys. Did you hear the 4? Someone screamed it.
Oh my God.
Okay, so anyway.
I might pee in a pool though this afternoon.
Hey, you never know. I mean, with you,
Wearing the hat,
anything,
might as well.
anything,
Anything can happen.
is possible. Well, listen, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
and
having me.
For everyone out there, we always end these with live now, love now.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about this idea of a powerhouse of possibility for yourself right now and what's to come, what would you say that means to you? Powerhouse of possibility.
I just think it's about embracing those little moments, the nuances in your life. Like we look at some of the big stuff, right? You think of a body and you're looking at like bones and skin, some of the bigger pieces of the body. This is my analogy. Yeah. But look at the smaller ligaments and the little kind of the connector tissues. Because we tend to, and I think in this time now, those pieces are become very visible. And so being able to embrace those little connector pieces, not just all those kind of bigger bones, but seeing those little moments and grabbing onto them and maybe doing something with them because you miss them along the way. sometimes.
I love that.
So
Eyes wide open right now.
eyes wide open.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. You did it, girl.
Oh God, I'm so nervous.
And we will see you next time. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you felt a connection to this episode of the Silver Lined ReLaunch, please head over to iTunes now. It would mean so much to me if you would leave a good review and help others find silver linings as well. And don't forget, you can have immediate access to all of the bonuses and notes from the show today in our treasure chest, which you have access to for free by texting 55444 and typing in treasure chest. Or you could go to our private Facebook group, The Relaunch Effect, Living a Life You Love. Together we've hit the reset button for you, turning your transitions into a transformation. Until next time, don't forget, there's always a silver lining.